Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me. I didn't. It's been a little bit of one of those mornings. Had a piece of equipment die this morning, and another one not want to play nice. And then it started raining, so it's just one of those days. So luckily for me, it's raining more over the field currently than it is on me. So at least that's a plus. Hello, Jen. Good to see you here. Brian D. Good to see you. Christine. I do apologize early if I missed some chats. I'm doing because of the rain, I have to do the minimal setup, which means everything that can possibly fit under the umbrella. So that leaves out the computer and the tablet. I've already had one thing die today. I don't want to have other stuff die today. Hello, Ringoberto. Good to see you. Josh, thanks for being here. You can barely even see what's going on at the end of the runway. That's one of the weird things about living here is pretty much the weather forecast can be the same almost every day. I mean, the 70 to 82 degrees, chance of windward and micro showers. They could probably get by on saying that 90% of the time. Hello, Kyle. Good to see you. Because that's just the way it is. You usually get rain at the mountains, rain on the windward side, and occasionally it's strong enough to push over to the leeward side like it is this morning. So when I looked at the weather last night, it said 20% chance of showers, isolated showers before noon. So unfortunately we got the 20%, so it's just the way it is. We'll try to fight through it as long as we can. I'm not currently drenched yet. Right now at where I am, it's just a annoying mist. Down on the other end, it looks like it's raining much heavier. This Hawaiian here is coming in from Maui. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Patrick. The channel is Reverse Ops. We're an aviation live stream and video channel based out of Honolulu, Hawaii. Our home airport is Daniel K. Inouye International Airport. That's the one we're looking at right now. It is on the south shore of the island of Oahu. About 4 or 5 miles as the Mina bird flies from downtown Honolulu. We do 2 shows a week here. The first one is on Saturdays. That is super heavy Saturdays. The The second one kind of jumps around a little bit depending on my work schedule. As you may have guessed, it's today. We'll go from just past 7 in the morning here now, so we'll go from 7 till about 9:30. Hello, Colin, Kirsten. Good to see you. This is a southwest coming in from Kailua Kona. Like I said, the forecast called for the rain to stay around till about noon. So that's way after I'm going to be here. So hopefully it at least plays nice. And right now I think it's, like I said, it's just drizzling where I am. Our good friend Steve Rogers is back. Been very kind to the channel the last couple of weeks. So Steve is gifted 20 reverse ops memberships. Unfortunately, I can't show that. It doesn't, for some reason, when it does the gifted memberships, it doesn't show the gifted in this overlay today. I'm doing the, like I said, I'm doing the minimal package here because of the rain. So the encoder will show some messages, but for some reason will not show the gifted membership message. But that does not change the appreciation I want to show to Steve. So because of Steve's generosity, I was able to add a few new emojis to the member chat. So check those out. Should be able to add one more later today. So if my math is correct, I think Steve's up over 100 gifted memberships in the last week and a half or 2 weeks. So please, all the ones that were gifted a membership by him, please say thank you in the chat. So it looks like at the other end of the field, the rain is letting up a little bit. Still just an annoying drizzle right here. So the A380s are running very close to on time today. So if you're new here, we get 2 A380s a day, both of them from ANA, All Nippon Airways. They are 2 of the 3 flying Honu livery, which is Honu is Hawaiian for sea turtle. So they'll be in very close to on time. The second one's running a few minutes early, so that's actually good news. Because, like I said earlier, I have to be out of here about 9:30, and it's currently scheduled for 9:35, so that's very good news. The first one should be here, I believe, at 8:20. Let's double check that. I got have to use the phone for flight radar today. Where is that Delta? Delta's out there hidden somewhere. Oh, it's going down the other taxiway. We have a Delta heading out towards the reef runway. Should be out there. It is. A little hard to pick up in the rain out there. It's heading off to LAX. It's Delta Flight 368. The next one in is coming in from Lehue. It's a Hawaiian 717. Yeah, so the first one is 8:25. That's 5 minutes early. There it is. For a while there, these A380s were running very early. Over the winter time, they were running almost an hour early, each one of them. So there was, we were back then we were starting at 7:30 because of the sunrise was a little later, and we were just barely getting that first one in. Depending on the weather patterns across the Pacific, the planes can get a huge boost in tailwinds. That's I'm gonna guess that's what it was, but because they all seem to leave about the right time. There's an Aloha Air Cargo in the back of this shot. That might be the one we just saw. I'm trying to figure out if this is the one we just saw come in. No. Yeah, this is the one we just saw come in. It's coming in from Hilo. The Delta is almost all the way down to the end of Juliet, so we're gonna take it here in just a second. It's weird, the sun has come out behind me. I don't know if you can see the foreground of this shot has gotten much brighter in the last 30 or 40 seconds. The sun is peeking over the mountains behind me. and peeking through the clouds. I'm still getting a little drizzle here, but it seems to be letting up. So everybody cross your fingers for me. These days, these weekday shows, I have to go straight to work. So I've learned now to pack a complete change of clothes just in case the rain happens. Oh, we're getting a faint rainbow. Let's see if we can see the rainbow. Oh, rainbow right by the control tower. I don't know if you guys can see that in the shot. The rainbow right by the control tower. Oh, it's getting brighter as we're getting a little more sun. That was our good friend, the Shutter Surprise. He's one of the local plane spotters here, giving us a honk as he drove by. He's on his way down to the parking lot at the end of Lagoon Drive. So I hope you guys can see that it's coming out. The sun is kind of hidden still behind some clouds, so it's just breaking through. So we're not getting a big bright rainbow, but it looks nice. So now it's fading away. Let's go over here and see if we can see it over here. Oh, that's a little better over this way. So we'll just hang on this rainbow for just a second while we're waiting for that Delta to leave. It is currently next for departure. It's the one heading off to LAX we saw taxiing a minute ago. There is a C-17 on the hiccup ramp lit up, so hopefully we'll get that going out as well. I see Rainbow Love has found one of the new emojis. Not ready to go to work yet. Might be a few seconds back in the chat. My chat seems to be a little delayed. Let me see if I can fix that. Let's see. Let's try to catch up with the chat here. Oh yeah. Now I see all the rainbow emojis in the chat. I was a few seconds behind. So I'm trying to keep an eye out for that C-17, but unfortunately it's very gray down there, and as you know, C-17s are very gray themselves, so can't see it quite yet. Might be tucked around behind Aloha Air Cargo over there. Oh, here's something we don't usually see. You got Zip Air is about 5 minutes out. Usually we catch Zip Air leaving. Well, that rainbow's getting really bright. Look at that. Usually we catch Zip Air leaving, but we hardly ever catch Zip Air arriving. Usually on Saturday, the Saturday show, and it shows up at 6 o'clock. It looks like today, on Tuesdays, it shows up at 7:50, and it's actually a little early. It's supposed to be here in about 8 minutes, so we'll see Zippy come in. We do have an Alaska plane heading out towards the Reef Runway. It's heading off to Seattle. Oh, we actually have I don't know if you can see this, double rainbow. It's a little faint over the right side of the screen, but we have a double rainbow going. It's not quite all the way across the sky. I hope a few of you get that reference. But I think it stopped raining. All right. Let's take down the umbrella and see what happens. I always seem to get more wet trying to get the water off the umbrella than I actually do if I just stand here. I don't know why that is. We got a little bit of rainbow for rainbow love. So that would probably be a great time to tell you about rainbow love and the Discord channel. If you guys are familiar with Discord, a few weeks ago, I launched a Discord channel for the channel. That sounds weird to say, a little bit department redundancy. But I launched a Discord channel for the channel. So if you had any questions, comments, whatever when I'm not streaming, you can post them over there. I'd also like to see your guys' plane spotting pictures. I know a couple of you have posted over there. But I know a lot of you are out there taking pictures at different airports, so I'd love to see those. There's a photo section and a video section. There's also a members only chat, so if you're a channel member, and thanks to Steve, we have a lot of new ones this last week and a half. Head on over there and you can join our members only chat. All you have to do is have a Discord account and let Discord know your YouTube name. It'll automatically associate you with it. If you have any problems, Rainbow Love is our moderator here and also our moderator over there, so she can walk you through it. It's pretty painless. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So it looks like Zip Air will be our next arrival. I don't know if you guys noticed this in the shot earlier. So this is at the end of 26 right, which is the opposite of 8 left. 8 left is still open for landings and departures. Just it's not open the other way at all. So there's no arrivals or departures from 26 right, and that's not usually a big thing because they only use that runway that way if there's reverse ops, the wind's the other direction. It's like that because they're currently doing work on 4 left. So 4 left is the crossing runway here. It has a parallel runway of 4 right. 4 right had been closed for 6 weeks or so. Now they're finished with that. They're working on 4 left now. So that doesn't affect our viewing much at all. Occasionally we'll get a landing on 4 right now, but need to talk more of those. Need to talk ATC into putting more of those UPS heavies on 4 right. Somewhere, I think oh. I I think I missed something as I was babbling along. Oh, there it is. Our good friend David is back from his vacation to here. He is vacationing here with his lovely wife. They stopped by, was it a week ago? A week ago Wednesday. They stopped by to say hello. He says it was great meeting me, and they'll be back again. It was great meeting them, not only because they're like wonderful people. Would have liked to had some more time to chat, maybe next time. But they brought me a tremendous gift. They brought me the one. They brought me the Gemini Jets Dreamliner, the Hawaiian Dreamliner. It's forced me to clean off my shelf, and now I have to get some pictures of it so I can post some pictures of it in the community section. It was very kind to them, and very kind for the $20 super chat today. Thank you very much. Oh. Okay. That is my... That's weird. Something, I was focused on a cord and it would not focus on the plane. We'll try that again. But thank you again, David. Look forward to seeing you again. Hope you had a wonderful time here in Hawaii. So we have a couple of planes heading down to the reef runway. The first one is a 717. It is off to Maui. That one you're seeing, that you were seeing in the shot. There we go. That is heading off to SFO. That's a 757. Also want to give a shout out to Colin Dutton. Thank you very much, Colin, for the £2 super chat. He says thanks. Well, thank you for being here, and thanks for the £2 super chat. I really appreciate it. So David was telling me that he collects a lot of the models, the 1/400 scale. I don't. I have a few. Most of mine are 1/2. Wait, am I backwards on the side? 1/200, 1/400. I think I'm backwards on the size. Most of mine are the smaller ones. This is Zip Air that was I told you about a few minutes ago. The only problem I have with them is here in Hawaii, a lot of the houses don't have AC, mine included, so we keep it open all the time. So windows open. So everything gets super dusty. I need to find a way, I need to find an enclosure to put my models in. So Rockin' Desert Rose, they're in the, you can either find it one of two places. It's in the About section on my YouTube homepage. So if you click on my name, the reverse ops name under the video, it'll take you to the main page for the channel, and then click on About, and it'll has a few links in there, and one of them is the Discord link. Or if you want to look back a few posts in the community tab of the same page, it's also there. Oh, no love for the A330 in the chat? Ooh. Well, oh, good. Glad you found it, Rockin' Desert Rose. Let's see. United is on the roll, so let's try to catch it and not have it focus on my cord this time. So let's get out here. There we go. So that we just saw fly over our head is heading off to Lehue. We have a southwest coming in right there. It is coming in from Maui. Oh, it's actually coming in faster than I thought. Hello, Kai Kai. Good to see you. 108 degrees. Holy cow. I grew up in a place that got very hot. Usually you'd have 70 or 80 straight days of 100 degrees in the summer. And somehow I survived. Now that I'm a little older, there's no way I want to do that again. I'll take my 85 degree summer days here. I think we have a Southern Air ready to go over here. Let's see if we can see that Southern Air. We don't usually give them enough love. Where are we at here? There it is. Let's see if we can catch him firing up his engines. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know the exact reasoning why we don't get more of the China cargo planes here. I would assume it has something to do with the Jones Act, but I'm not 100% sure. The Jones Act, I thought was for maritime, but they might extend that to plane cargo as well, because I don't know of any cargo flights that come. But I could be wrong. I'm usually wrong about a lot of things, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But that's Southwest there. Well, actually, there's two of them in a row. I don't know if you can see the two of them there. One is heading off to Maui. That's the one in the distance. The one in the background there is heading off to Las Vegas. Yeah, I think we need a bigger wink emoji, Bob. That's a. Of course, I will say I lived. I was down in Houston. I stayed in Houston for a year. For some reasons. I lived in Houston for about a year, just north of Houston. I don't know, just past 1960, if you know where that is. And I don't see how people do that. It would be 105 degrees or 102 degrees in the summer, and it would be 90% humidity or higher. And it felt like when you opened the door of your house, you'd get hit with this wall of water. It was the most horrible experience. I don't see how everybody who moves to Houston must move there in the winter, because there's no way, like in the 1800s, you're walking across with a wagon and you're like, oh, let's stop here. Now, if you're listening from Houston, I'm not disparaging the people or whatever. It's just the weather is horrible. And then as you go further, I mean, I have a friend of mine who lives in Mississippi, and Mississippi, I think, trounces that too. I think I'm just getting older and turning into more of a lightweight. That's like when I was growing up in Texas when it was 100 degrees all the time. I never owned a car with AC. I never even thought about it. I didn't want a car with AC because it stole horsepower. I wanted to go as fast as I possibly could, so I didn't want an AC stealing the horsepower from me. And I don't see how I did that now. Oh, yeah, Bob, I'll take your word for that. I've never actually been there, but the way he complains, I thought it was worse. So, but I've never, that's one of the few states I'm down to I think I'm down to 9 states. 9, 10, somewhere in there. States I've never been to, and Mississippi is one of those. Yeah, Richard, I tuned into their stream yesterday. I was kind of surprised how close they were. I didn't know you could get that close in Boston. That was pretty nice. I need their travel budget. They do offer a non-stop to Boston from here. I think 2 different airlines do non-stop from Boston from here, so I could head over to Boston relatively easily. Next arrival is Northern Air Cargo. It's branded Aloha Air Cargo, but it's actually run by Northern Air Cargo. It's one of those things where they kept the name. They do that a lot here in Hawaii. I don't know if it's just a Hawaii thing. I'm not familiar enough with some of the other airports and smaller airlines. Here they love to, mainland companies come in and buy things, and then they never change the name. I'm assuming it's because they think the people who've been going to them all their lives would stop going there, which might be true. So Northern Air Cargo still calls it Aloha Air Cargo. And then you have Long's Long's Drugs, which is a local pharmacy, was bought out by CVS, but they kept all the Long's names. They brought it. We still have the 9-mile long receipts, though. They didn't. They brought that to us, but they kept the Long's name. David, I almost did some plane spotting in Phoenix a couple of years ago. I wanted to go. I had some vacation I needed to burn, and I had some miles I needed to get. So I flew into LA, did some plane spotting at LAX, and then I drove from LA to Phoenix, and then flew out of Phoenix. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to go to Amboy, California. If anybody knows where Amboy, California is, you win a gold star. It is somewhere between Mojave and Joshua Tree on the old Route 66. Everything I read said it was the darkest spot in Southern California. And I'd been to Joshua Tree, and I've been to Death Valley, so I was very anxious to see if it could get darker than those. So I drove out to Amboy, California, to do some shots of the Milky Way. It was a kind of an adventure. I had a good time. I made some critical mistakes on how cold it gets in the desert at night in the middle of October or whenever that was. But I ended up going all the way to Phoenix. Where's the plane I'm looking for? There it is. Going all the way to Phoenix, and it took way longer to get from Amboy to Phoenix than I thought, so I missed out on plane spotting at Sky Harbor. I was trying, Bob. I was trying to get my kicks. How you doing? So the trip out to Amboy, I didn't get as good of Milky Way shots as I wanted to. it wasn't as dark as I thought it would be out there. I mean, it was, don't get me wrong, it was dark, but I was expecting Big Bend dark, not, I mean, the problem with there was it was very close to 29 Palms, California, which is where the Marine base is, so that was a huge light on the horizon that kind of ruined everything in that direction. But I still was able to get a picture of the zodiacal lights. Something I never thought I'd be able to get a picture of. The timing and the conditions have to be perfect to get a picture. So the zodiacal lights is light from the sun that's hitting dust in I think it's between, oh shoot, it's been a long time since I thought of this. Between Saturn, anyway, it's out in the planetary range, but it's this dust, and the light at certain conditions right after sunset, right in, you know what blue hour and nautical twilight is, somewhere between blue hour and nautical twilight. You can see them you can see them, they're kind of like a pyramid of light that goes from the western horizon up kind of in a pyramid shape. So that was the highlight of the trip right there. That's something I never thought I'd be able to see. I've seen somebody mentioned Phoenix Lights in the chat. It scrolled up too fast. I didn't see who that was, but I didn't see those or anything like that out there. I have seen some weird stuff. Like if you get out dark enough, you'll always see satellites, especially just after it gets dark. You'll see some satellites of the International Space Station. But thing about satellites is they don't change direction. The International Space Station doesn't change direction. It'll go across the sky at a set pace. I've seen a couple things change direction. I'll put it that way. I don't know what they were. Yeah, there's been a couple of things here. I don't want to sound like I'm, I don't want to turn this into Art Bell coast to coast, but I've seen a couple of things out here that just, I don't know what to make of them. Like if you've ever been up on the north shore of Oahu, out towards Kayana Point, there's an airfield out there called Dillingham Airfield. It used to be military. I think it's owned by the state now. That's where all the skydiving and gliders use. So pretty much that's all that use them now, except for at night. The military does still do some exercises there occasionally. I'm getting a little bit of drizzle now again. Give me a sec to get the umbrella and I will finish my Art Bell story. So there's the airfield up there on the North Shore, Dillingham Airfield. If you want to look at it on a map, it's on the northwest side of the island. Anyway, so as I mentioned a little while ago, I'm also a big, I love taking astrophotography pictures. I have a couple of telescopes and like to take some deep sky stuff, so I go up there to Dillingham. There's a space right near there that's away from most people, but still close enough where you feel safe being out there at night. And I've seen some stuff at that airfield that is, I'm not going to say, it's not UFOs or aliens or anything, but it's some military tech that I don't know if they've ever made public yet. I had a helicopter come over my head at probably about 30 feet. It was extremely low. And the only way I knew it was coming is it had, if you watch some military planes, they have a lot of them have like a green bar on them. So if you watch like the F-22s when they leave here, they have a green kind of reflective bar on them that they take off when they're training they have it on, but when they're in a mission they take it off. It makes it easier to see. And I could see that coming at me really low, a couple of those. And as it got over me, I could feel, it felt like I was standing under a helicopter. The wind, the breeze coming down at me. But there was no sound. Like, well, okay, a little sound. The sound of air being pushed, but not the sound of a giant motor pushing giant rotors. It was very odd. And then the second time it buzzed my head, they had a spotlight on it, and they put the spotlight on me. And then they just flew away, and I never saw them again. Yeah, Jonathan, my favorite are the night exercises. Unfortunately, they don't publish them. You just kind of have to hear them out here. I'm gonna next time I know they're gonna do them, I'll try to do a live stream. But they have usually the F-22s will leave just after sunset. So if they do that again, I'll try to get a live stream for that. It's very impressive to watch the afterburners at that time of night. There's another United pushing back. Richard, I don't know if I wasted time listening to Art Bell. That was pure grade A entertainment. I loved Art Bell. The guy after Art Bell that took over the same show, I don't remember his name. I didn't like him as much. But back when I was a teenager or young 20s, we used to drive around at night, just, you know, being aimless and bored. The back country roads of Texas, listening to Art Bell. That probably will show you what kind of how big of a dork I am. Most of my friends would drive around listening to hair metal or whatever at stupid loud volumes. Me and some of my friends would drive around listening to Art Bell. So we have a UPS 767 coming in from Lehue. That's about less than, it says 18 minutes out, but it looks closer than that. We also have a 330. I know Kirsten loves the 330s, so get one of those coming in from Tokyo. Trying to do a check on the A380. So the A380 is still scheduled to show up 26 minutes from now. So that's right about where it was last time we checked. That's 8:26 if you're... Am I being censored by the military? Does my... I do have another... I wish I could tell. I have another story about being censored by the military. I wish I could tell that story. That's a giant tease, and I'm sorry. I shouldn't tease like that. I have a real... if you ever run into me in person, I don't know if I want to tell this story on the air, but if you ever run into me in person, it's a good excuse to come by and say hi. Ask me about my U2 story. As you know, a couple of you know, we've seen U2s a couple of times in the stream, but I have one that missed the stream that has an interesting story behind it. So I'm used to doing the streams on Saturdays and Mondays. Tuesdays I don't usually do many streams. It's a little slower than I thought. That's the problem with looking up... I have a problem with looking at flight schedules on websites like Flight Radar, and it'll show you all the flights coming in. Every time I look, it looks like it's a jam-packed day. Oh yeah, you got these flights coming in every 5 minutes, and then you realize that they sometimes they bunch up, and it's 5 flights in 2 minutes, and then nothing for 20 minutes, so... So it's not that I'm a big Art Bell believer, Richard. It was just pure entertainment. We were listening to Art Bell once, and he was talking about, I don't remember if it was actually Art Bell or one of the guys who stood in for him. Was talking about these giants that were in China that were like 14 feet tall, and they had skeletal proof. And then about 6 months later, me and a friend of mine were at Denny's at like 3 in the morning. And you always meet the best people at Denny's at 3 in the morning. This is coming in from Lihue. This is a 717. And this guy went on for like half an hour, 45 minutes, about how he had just snuck into China to try to steal the skeletal remains. I'm trying to figure out if he was listening to too much Art Bell or he was the Art Bell. He was the reason for that Art Bell story. There used to be, well, I guess technically there's still two Denny's in Waikiki. Bob, 14-foot people. 14-foot high people. He was, said he went into China to try, oh, we have fighters. Hold on. My zoom button decided to fly off the tripod handles right when they were coming out. So keep it over here for just a second, see if there's any more. I must have got a good night's sleep last night. I'm very talkative today. I think you could always tell it. I can't. Maybe I didn't get enough sleep. That's why I'm talkative. One of the two. I either got too much sleep or not enough sleep. All right, so I'll keep an eye over there, but Thank you, Christine. I appreciate that. Yeah, it sure looks like Eva Beach is getting drenched over there. A couple way longer than I want to admit ago. One of my jobs used to be doing work at high schools. I did some work at different high schools across the state. Mostly high schools, some middle schools, elementary, but mostly high schools. I was in a classroom in Eva Beach at Campbell High School. So Campbell High School is in Eva Beach, Hawaii. It's kind of on the west side of Pearl Harbor. There is where Eva Beach is. It's the largest high school in the state, I believe. Anyway, it's out in a very hot area of the island, the leeward side, and it doesn't rain over there very much. And I was in this classroom, and it started to rain outside. And not just like a light rain, it started to pour rain. And all of a sudden, every kid in the classroom just jumps up and runs outside and starts dancing in the rain, just having a good time in the rain. And I looked at the teacher and I was like, what's going on here? She goes, it never rains here. They're very excited. So I was like, okay. Hello, Magoo Manor. Thank you very much for the super chat. Yes, Bart Bell was grade A minutia, or not minutia, that's a bad word. Grade A BS, but it was that's why we listened. That's why I listened. Yes. It was I'm sure you know where Humble was. That's where I lived. And it was just, I can't imagine. That Humble is still a ways from the Gulf. I mean, it's still 45 minutes to an hour from the Gulf. It was just nasty humid every day. Like, it was so bad. I moved there probably in early June, which was a mistake. And I lived there till about the next June. So all through that summer, it was so humid. Every day about 5 o'clock, it would just drizzle. But thanks again, Magoo Manor. I really appreciate it. Next arrival is that UPS 76 I was telling you about a few minutes ago. It's coming in from Lihue, so a nice short flight. Lihue is on the island of Kauai, so that's the next island west of Oahu. So Bob, was Jerry at Lake and Heath? Is that where he was? Oh. Ah. Yeah, I was at Lake and Heath last year. And it was just constant all day long. I was there from probably 7:30 in the morning till about 4 in the afternoon. And it never stopped. It was just 35s, then 15s, then 35s would come in, and then 15s would come in, and then more 35s would leave, and 15s would leave, and I was in the visiting area, the little parking lot most of the day. And then for the end of the day, I went over and stood by the road underneath the approach. And it was just crazy how close they came on approach. You don't get that. I mean, you don't really get that here because you're kind of far away from you're never really underneath the runway here unless they're coming out 8 left. So, and the fighters never come out 8 left. So it's crazy how low they were getting. I'd like to get up to Coningsby again sometime. I went to Coningsby a couple of years ago, and unfortunately for me, so they have these lights. There's a road that goes around the airbase, and at where the road gets closest to the end of the runway, they have stoplights. So when the planes are coming in or leaving, maybe not leaving, but definitely coming in, you're supposed to stop there. They have red lights that you have to stop at. Unfortunately, the day I was at Coningsby, those lights were broken. So they weren't sending up any planes that day because they didn't have the manpower, they said, to man the lights to get traffic to stop. They only sent up one fighter that day that was heading out to an air show that was previously scheduled. And for that, they brought out the base police trucks and stopped traffic. But they said that policeman is where I heard all the information about why they weren't sending up planes. But at least I got to see one, so that's good. Better than none. So the good news is the sun is back out. It's actually way over the clouds now, so that's good. I don't think we're going to get any more rain where I am. So this is a Hawaiian 330. It came in from Tokyo. There's another 330 behind it. Oh, it's not quite in the shot yet. Just trying to hold it off to the right to see if I can... Oh, there it is. The one behind it is heading off to Los Angeles. There's a couple of planes out on the reef runway that we're about to get. One is a Southwest that I have no idea where it's going. Let's see if we can figure out where that's going. Alright, that one is heading off to San Diego. There is a 717 behind it that's heading off to Hilo. We also have a FedEx 777 coming in from Memphis. That is coming over to 8 left, and then behind it we'll have the first A380 of the day. Yeah, Adrian, Blackjack is the one I wanted to see. I wouldn't mind seeing the new one. That one looks really sharp with the stripes on it. I like that one a lot. Yeah, someone mentioned that Southwest, Dr. Mayadil? I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Someone mentioned that Southwest. I'm a little skeptical of the media stories about that Southwest off that was off of Kauai. I think it's a lot of overblown. I mean, yes, something did happen. It wasn't a normal flight, yada yada yada. But the stories I were reading were saying it went from 16,000 feet to 400 feet at 4,000 feet a minute are total BS. That didn't happen. So this is the FedEx 777. So if you watch the replay on Flight Radar, it took almost 10 minutes for it to get down from 16,000 to 1,000. And then it dropped to 400 feet, which is abnormal, but it's not quite 16,000 to 400 feet. Alright, so the first A380 of the day should be next. There is a Hawaiian out on the reef runway, but we're gonna, unless it starts moving like pronto, we're gonna skip it. Okay, now that I say that, I think it's moving. So we'll take the Hawaiian, then we'll come back. We should have plenty of time to come back for the A380. The Hawaiian on the reef runway is heading off to LAX. I still don't even see the A380. It's still behind some clouds. Looks like Stephen Billings has joined us at the 717 Inter-Island Traveler level. Thank you very much. You will enjoy all the comfort of the 717 as you zip between the islands. The seats in economy don't recline, but you're never really in the air long enough to notice. Depending on the season, you'll either get a nice pog drink or a passion orange nectar. Someone will be by to bring that shortly. But again, welcome. Oh, Gabriel, that's. Did you catch that? Because that's I love seeing those things. It's just the scale on them is just unbelievable. A couple of weeks ago, we had two C5s and two A380s in the same show, so several of the world's largest aircraft all right here. You notice to the left of this shot, we have another quad jet heading out. That'll more than likely head over to the reef runway. And then our second A380 of the day is about an hour out. Last time I looked, it was scheduled for 9:36. So hopefully it speeds up just a few minutes. I do have a soft out of 9:30 today. That's one of the Alaska special liveries. Looks like it's being towed somewhere. So there might also be another. That's a KC-46. So something's also lit up down there. So we'll see if we get another military plane action. I'm trying to keep an eye at C-17 that rolled down there. Oops. Keep having a problem with my camera not staying where I want to put it. We're also getting very close. We should also be getting the All Blacks livery today. That's something we don't usually see on... Oh, yeah, it's just off the coast out there. That's something we usually don't see. Air New Zealand only flies in here certain days of the week, so we usually do not see Air New Zealand on the Saturday or the Monday shows. So it's one of the planes we only see when we do a weird Tuesday show. So it's just off the coast. It looks like it's, oh geez, 4 or 5 for arrival. There's a whole bunch out there. Alright, so I was trying to find out where that C-17 is, and I don't see it anywhere, so apparently it's going to be a surprise to everyone. Oh, speaking of that, speaking of surprises, there it is right there. So if you notice, that one had a HH on the tail and a yellow stripe that said Hawaii towards the top of the tail. That's one of ours here. I've heard they're stripping that off, all the markings off the tails of some of the regular Air Force ones. I don't know if that'll, I don't think that would apply to the Air Guard. And I haven't seen any of the Air Guard with it stripped off yet, so... Alright, the Hawaiian we just saw leave is heading off to Kailua Kona. That's on the Big Island. This one that we're watching come in is coming in from Lehue. There should be a C-46 behind it somewhere in the shot very soon. And then we'll have another Southwest coming in from Maui, and then behind it will be the All Blacks livery coming in from Auckland. Let's see that. See if we can find that KC-46 down there. It's down there somewhere. Either that or flight radar is lying to me. Maybe it's the new stealth KC-46. Yeah. Oh. Must be still too far over to see. Let's see if we can see a tail. I do not see it at all. Oh well. Thank you for stopping by, Mika. Appreciate it. We talked about this. Mika, right? Miika. So that Hawaiian in the background is heading off to Las Vegas. So the two Hawaiian Dreamliners, ooh, that looks good in the sun. Let's get that in the sun. The two Hawaiian Dreamliners, the brand new ones, let's after the All Blacks come in, I'll tell you about the new Hawaiian Dreamliners. There it is. That's the one thing I like the rain because it keeps the heat haze at minimum. But it also makes it a little harder to broadcast. So now that the sun's out, we're getting the heat haze again. So Hawaiian now has 2 Dreamliners. And N781HA was the first one. And then N780HA was the second one. They're both in service now. Started out going back and forth to San Francisco. They've just kind of recently switched it up, and now one of them will go to LA and the other one will go to Phoenix daily. They were supposed to do that through I believe semi-late in 2024, October. So I just heard they pushed that same route back to 2025. So the Dreamliners will be going to LA and Phoenix through 2025 now, early 2025. One of my reverse ops operatives tipped me off on that. So thanks to them. This Southwest is coming in from Hilo. So I was talking a while ago about astrophotography and stargazing and dark skies, and how I went out to what was supposed to be the darkest spot in California. That's Amboy, California. There's a volcanic cinder cone there that's supposed to be the darkest skies in California. It's supposed to be a Bortle 2, if you're familiar with that. A little disappointed it wasn't as dark as I thought it was going to be, mainly because it's right next to 29 Palms, which is a military base. But I'll tell you, this plane here coming in from Hilo, if you can ever get over to Hilo, not only is it my favorite town in Hawaii, it is very short drive from Volcanoes National Park. 45 minutes, an hour, something like that. And if you can get in Volcanoes National Park and go all the way down Chain of Craters Road, all the way to the sea. So if you look up you put in the sea arch, you could probably get very close to where I'm talking about. That is the darkest sky I've ever seen down there. I think it only lists a Bortle 2 on the map, on the dark sky maps, but it is so dark out there, and there's no light on most of the horizon. So you got a little light coming from some of the smaller towns over in that direction, and a little tiny bit of light coming from the volcano if the volcano is active. But if you're looking south towards the Milky Way, towards the core of the Milky Way, for us people in the northern hemisphere, there's nothing. There's nothing. For the closest thing south of us is 1,300 miles away. I have no idea what that is in kilometers, sorry. It's 1,300 miles away, and it's a little atoll about the size about the size of well, it's about the size of that landing strip we're looking at. It's very tiny, a couple miles across. And that's 1,300 miles away, and then there's some stuff a little farther south than that, but 1,300 miles of nothing, darkness. So if you ever want to get a great shot of the Milky Way, head over to Volcanoes National Park and just look south. So I have one of those DJI gimbals, the camera stabilizers. And it also does this thing. If you stick it on a tripod, it'll do a panorama. So it'll go and automatically take pictures in a panorama. And you could do a 180-degree panorama, so they complete everything above you in a panorama. So I did that of the Milky Way and put it into a VR 360 picture, so you can look around the Milky Way. It's probably one of the coolest things I've done in astrophotography. Oh, that would be nice, Kirsten, getting out there, and you're absolutely, you have zero light. You have I've only been to one place that might be darker than the Volcanoes National Park. I was driving across Nebraska once. This was probably 15 years ago or so. I was driving. Long story short, I did a friend of mine, actually several friends of mine, their band was asked to do part of the Warp Tour. If any of you youngins know what the Warp Tour was, and I drove their van for them across the country. So we did 20-something shows. Maybe it was 20, might have been 20 shows in 22 or 3 days. So you were playing, they played the show all day, and then we drove all night. We are cutting across Nebraska. I think we are going from, my math might be wrong, my geography might be wrong, but I think we are going from Council Bluff, Iowa to Denver, Colorado overnight. And in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska, I stopped to go use the facilities, as they say. And I stepped out of the van and looked up, and it was just so many stars on a moonless night. There were so many stars you couldn't pick out constellations. It was amazing. And the only problem I had was I had to get back in the van and continue driving. So thank you very much, Rainbow Love. Rainbow Love has gifted one Reverse Ops membership. Looks like Becky Gant is the recipient. So join me in thanking Rainbow Love. So now we got multiple things lit up on the Hickam ramps. We have another C-17. We still have that KC-46 Pegasus was kind of hiding over there just around the corner, I think. So hopefully we'll get those in the next little bit. Next arrival is in Alaska, coming in from San Jose. We also have a UPS Queen. It's a 747-8. Oh. Sneaking these things out on me. So where was I at? Oh yeah, there's a Queen that is currently taxiing over for departure on the reef runway. It's just made the zigzag turn off the end of the cargo ramp. Next arrival is in Alaska. It's coming in from San Jose. It's a MAX 9. And the first of our two, which I don't know if we'll see two today because we have the 930 hard out, but soft out. But the DHL Singapore 777 just passed over our head. Oh, we have more fighters. Those were, in my tiny monitor, they look like F-22s. I'm pretty confident they were. They were most likely from the 199th Fighter Squadron of the Hawaii Air Guard. Pardon me. So while the Queen is currently turning on to the reef runway right now, so before that goes out, let me remind you of the, if you weren't here on Saturday, we're continuing the promo code SPAM for $5 off any t-shirt in the Reverse Op shop. That includes the brand new Hawaii Plane Spotter shirt. That's a women's fit shirt. It also includes the Mai Tai Hang 10 approved shirt. So Mai Tai is the call sign for those fighters we just saw. Hang 10 is unrestricted climb. Again, use promo code SPAM to get $5 off any t-shirt. This Southwest is heading off to Oakland. If I didn't zoom right past it. There it is. Next departure will be another C-17. So we do have a Southwest coming in front of us, but we're going to hold over here because I want to get the C-17 through the trees if possible. Usually they go up pretty quick, so usually they're up before they clear the hangars over there. Alright, it's on the roll, so let's see where it pops up. Usually they're up, yep, there we go, before it hits the hangar, so. Next arrival is that DHL 777. It's less than a minute out. So a few minutes ago when I said I didn't think we'd see both of them today because of the show ending so soon. I think we're going to see both of them in a row. I think the next arrival will be the second DHL 777. So let's say we're going to get them back to back. So the second A380 of the day is holding the same pace, so it'll be here at 9:35-ish, let's say. It is just south of the island of Kauai right now, so it's getting very close. I don't see anything that's close enough that's going to get us to stay past that one. I have to be at work, so most likely, unless something pops up crazy, that'll be our last plane of the day. If you haven't yet, now would be a good time to hit that like button. I know we passed 200 likes a minute ago. Thank you, everyone. If you haven't had a chance to do it, now would be a great time. You can also hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, because there's a fairly positive fairly good percentage we're going to do another one of these midweek shows this week. Because of the holiday tomorrow, I am off tomorrow. Well, I'm going to do a half day at work tomorrow just to get some stuff done. But I'm kind of behind on a few things after that big project we did last week, if you guys remember that one. So just to get caught up, I'm going to do a half day tomorrow, but that leaves my morning free. So if I can drag myself out of bed tomorrow, we'll be doing another one of these shows tomorrow. So hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. We also have membership levels available if you'd like to get in on the emoji fun and the other benefits. There's some different membership levels, so there's different benefits at each level. Bunch of members only stuff, not just the emojis, so check that out. Hit the join button underneath the video, or if you're on a iOS device, I think you have to open up the video in Safari on your computer or Safari on the phone to see that join button. So give that a look. It's every cent does help the channel. Our goal this year is to keep the channel in the black this year. So of course, as I say that, we did have something break this morning, so that's gonna put a little damper in the kitty, as they say. Oh, I see some people found they get to work, Patrick emojis. I'm working on it. Trying to get to the last one, and then we're off to work. It's actually turning into a really beautiful day here in Hawaii. It was very rainy this morning if you were here early in the show. Still mostly cloudy, but the sun's out behind me. The temperature's great. The trade winds are blowing, and they're not super gusty. Pardon me. Sorry, Brandon, you can't come to work with me. I did see a streamer out of Phoenix. I don't remember their name. It was I believe it's a husband and wife duo streaming out of Phoenix. That when they're done with the stream, they put their dash cam into the encoder, and you get to follow them home on the stream. That's an interesting way. So then they just chat on the way home to viewers via the chat on the YouTube. It's a pretty interesting way to end the show. Of course, you have to watch how long you keep that chat going. You don't want to take it all the way to your driveway, I wouldn't think. And then there's Walt. If you guys watch Walt at a Runway DFW, he has the chat extravaganza where he does the wide shot of him packing up for the day while everyone chats. Maybe I'll have to think of something. It's actually kind of a short drive to work, so I don't know if I could. It'd be a short extra video to have you guys go to my work from here. It wouldn't last very long. As I say, the gusts were down, and now it gets all gusty on me. Now my foot's all wet. Jeez. I think I mentioned it earlier. I have the worst luck with umbrellas. Every time it stops raining and I put the umbrella down, I think I get more wet from just the water off the umbrella. So the second A380 of the day, this one's the green, sea green one. It's 17 minutes away. It's coming in from the south. We're gonna have several planes come in before it, including this 717. This 717 is coming in from Maui. After that, we'll have a Japan Airlines coming in from Narita. So for a long time, not a long time, a while, they had all their ramp trucks here, like this one, were all Teslas here. They had white Teslas. Just recently they switched them all over to trucks because the Teslas, they couldn't just throw stuff in the back. Alright, so we're going to move over to a wide shot of that Japan Airlines coming in. So we're going to find it in the air. There it is. We keep this a little wide because the heat haze is starting to get pretty bad. Oh, hello. Sorry about that. It was, someone sent me an email from work and I was trying to read it and forgot to pan down. So, Rainbow Love, that's Bob and Doug McKenzie. So if you've ever seen the movie Strange Brew, or if you've ever I believe they started out on SCTV. They were a couple of characters on SCTV that made it into their own movie called Strange Brew. It was played by Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas. They were Rick Moranis, I'm sure most of you know who he is. Dave Thomas is another comedian on SCTV. So I added those because at the time we had a lot of Canadian mods. We were down one of those Canadian mods, but we still have another Canadian mod in the... I believe she was here earlier. So we got to talking in the mod chat, and I was telling them that all I knew about Canada was what I learned from the movie Strange Brew. So I added those two emojis. With the intention that we would use those emojis when we saw Air Canada. But because of the time Air Canada comes in, we hardly ever see Air Canada. Air Canada usually comes in the afternoon and then leaves again in the afternoon. So we hardly ever. So it was a great plan. I will say so myself. I really thought it would be funny, but there you are. Hello. You are still here. I thought it'd be funny instead of just putting up a maple leaf or the Air Canada symbol when Air Canada showed up, or the other one that escapes my brain right now that I'm having a hard time thinking of, the other Canadian airline that comes in here. I thought it'd be funny just to throw up Bob and Doug McKenzie. So that gives you a very detailed look at my level of humor. If you think that's as funny as I think it is, then you'd probably get along. This Hawaiian is coming in from Osaka. We have another Queen that's working its way out to the reef runway. It's currently on the taxiway just about to make a left on Juliet. No, Brandon, sorry. They're my favorite Canucks. Well, besides my mods. I think Kirsten is my favorite Canuck right now. WestJet, thank you. I could picture the tail, but I could not my brain would not focus on the name. So if you haven't checked out the movie Strange Brew, I think it's free on YouTube to watch. You don't have to watch any ads to watch it. I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's very 80s humor, kind of 80s pacing, so don't expect laugh a second things, but it's very good. Alright, so that the Queen heading off to Hong Kong is rolling, so we're gonna flip around and get it. Almost time, Rainbow Love. Almost time. A little bit of an overtime right now. All right. The flight radar says the ANA A380 is 2 minutes out, but I think that's a little. If it was flying straight here, it'd be 2 minutes out. I think it's gonna go a little bit of a. That's where I wish I had the ATC going. I didn't bring the ATC out today because it was raining. Oh, there it goes. So the ANA is south of us, and it's gonna make a couple turns and filter its way into traffic there, and then arrive right in front of us. The good thing about the rain today and the minimal setup is I have less to pack away today. I am working on a way to put everything in a case. So the encoder, the tablet, the power, everything in a case. So literally all I'd have to do is close the case and I could just leave. Well, take the camera off the tripod, close the case, and I can just leave. So that's still in process right now. I'm still working on that. So this Hawaiian here is coming in from Kona. There's a Hawaiian on the reef runway that is heading off to LAX. So we're gonna flip around and get it real quick. So if you hadn't had a chance to check out the schedule for the next couple of weeks, I posted that on my Instagram page and my Instagram. The Instagram is also reverse ops. So I post the schedule there. So the first one on the schedule is today's show. And then so it runs through the end of the month. So the end of the month, we're going to do 2 shows from LAX. They won't be super long shows. They'll only be probably as long as this show, 2.5 hours or so. But I'd like to catch the some of the A380s. So those will be the last Thursday and Friday of the month. I don't have a time for those yet because I still need to work out which A380s I'm going to try to capture. I know there's a couple that come in very close together, so we'll try to get some, as many as we can in a couple hours. I do want to catch the Lufthansa. Last time I was there in LA, I only saw it on the ground. I never saw it in the air. So that is a priority to catch the Lufthansa. No, it's entirely my fault that I'm late. The good thing is if we can get this down in the next 5 minutes, I will still make it. I work very close to here, so if I can get it down, if we can get the plane down in the next 5 minutes, and because I have most of the stuff already packed up, we're good to go. And I think we're going to be okay because it looks like it's third for arrival now. There's a 321 coming in from Salt Lake City that's in front of it. That's a Hawaiian. There's a Japan Airlines coming in from Tokyo. That's a Dreamliner. That's right in front of it. And then the third one in is the green sea turtle livery. So if we can get this in the next 5 or so minutes, I will still make it on time to work. Give you one more shot of that promo code. Use SPAM, promo code SPAM to get $5 off any t-shirt, except for the Maui Strong t-shirt. But $5 off any other t-shirt in the shop, including the new women's cut Hawaii Plane Spotter shirt. That promo code will run through just before the show Saturday morning. So if you buy one shirt, that's $5 off. If you buy 100 shirts, that's $500 off. So think of, you could save $500 just by using that promo code. This is the 321 we saw. Well, we didn't see it, but we talked about it a second ago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run, usually I run a little short thing to thank my upper tier members, channel members, the 330 and the 321 level members. So usually I run that at the very end of the show, but because we're kind of cutting it close on time, I'm going to go ahead and run that right now, because I don't want to get out of here without running it, because the channel members are really what keep this thing going. So I just want to thank these channel members. The 717 are very important to me as well. So if you're a 717 Inner Island channel member, I hope you don't feel left out. This is just an added bonus for the people who pay a couple dollars more a month. So if you were recently gifted a membership or added a membership, I update this before the Saturday shows. So I update that before the Saturday show. So tune back in on Saturday if you didn't see your name there. I'll be there on Saturday. Alright, so this is the Japan Air Dreamliner. So that means the ANA Super Heavy Flying Honu is next. It is currently just about to pass over Eva Beach. So we're going to follow it till it hits till it makes its way into the terminal. Why am I having such a hard time thinking of what that's called? Till it makes it to the gate. How about we just call it that? We'll follow it till it makes it at least most of the way to the gate, and then we're going to call it a day here. If I can get up tomorrow, because of the holiday, we're going to try to do another stream tomorrow. It'll be very similar to this stream. So I'm going to do a half day at work tomorrow just to catch up on some things. So we'll have a show tomorrow if I can get out of bed. You got to get up at 5 a.m. to get this thing going here, so it's a little early for us night owls. This is that 7.6 that came in from Lehui a little while ago. Come back to the A380 in just a second. When it starts to turn, we can see what it looks like when it turns. So I want to give a special shout out to the people who left super chats today. So we had Magoo Manor, Colin Dutton, and David Ziering. Thank you very much for the super chats today. Really appreciate it. Thanks again to Steve Rogers for the gifted memberships. He gave 20 gifted memberships earlier in the show. Also had Rainbow Love with a gifted membership today. Thank you very much. Also want to send a shout out to all my mods. Even I believe they're almost all here today. But Brad, Kirsten, Ms. Wolves, Rainbow Love, Sydney, Josh, and Lady Cat. I believe most of them are here today, but it doesn't change the fact that I want to thank all of them. They really keep this thing going. All right, so I think this has got to be about it. I have to get going. So we'll keep an eye, put that subscription and notification on. If I do a show tomorrow, you want to get notified. So we'll try to do one tomorrow. If not, we'll be back here on Saturday. And then the next week after that is the LA shows. So come on, turn for me. Turn. I want a good side shot of you. Turn. Okay, I can't wait for it to turn. All right, I got to run. Got to get to work. Thanks for all the get to work Patrick emojis in the chat. We'll see y'all next time. Go to work, go to work. All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see y'all hopefully tomorrow, definitely Saturday. Aloha.